want to just introduce yourself to the audience here?
Hey, I'm Crespo. I'm the host of Handjobs.
Crespo is the beautiful handless man that hosts Handjobs, which is a web series we shot 6 years ago.
My God, time flies.
It was one of those projects I loved just because of the name. I forget how the name came about, but just saying me and you were collaborating on a hand job was So what happened with the real job? Did you quit? How did it end?
Oh, they didn't want to accommodate me, so they just let me go.
Yeah, so how do people, like, if they're going to fire you? Because a lot of the show was that you had been fired from jobs enough.
Well, yeah, that's the gag, is that I'm an asshole, and they just, But
is this based in real life in any way? Like, how do people fire you or usually let you go from a position?
Well, when they want to let me go, they put me in situations that is physically demanding.
Okay.
And then it's like, of course you're going to fuck up. And then it's like, oh, well, because you fucked up and we don't want to accommodate you, we have to let you go.
So they set you up.
That's basically what Starbucks did. They were like,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I needed it. And I used to
go like that, huh?
Well, they didn't want to accommodate me. So they put all this stuff on the top shelf.
So fucking annoying.
So I couldn't reach anything on the top shelf. I had to get someone to pull it down. So they were like, yeah, we're not going to move that. We're sorry, but we're going to let you go. And
in a world where people with arms have reigned supreme, Christopher Crespo has had enough. He's got the drive, he's got the determination, he's got the heart. They call him the Crippled Threat. But after being laughed out of every job he's ever applied to, now the human cactus strikes back in Handjobs.
No, well, it started with, it was originally called First Day Fridays. And you told me, I love the idea, I fucking hate the title. Like, you told me straight up, you were like, I love the idea of the project, I just fucking can't stand the title. And I went through a list. I had a long, and I mean like 25 plus names of comedy albums for my ideas, right? So I had Lend Me a Hand, I had Unarmed, I had Armed and Dangerous was another one.
Well, we should start off with the synopsis of the show. Handjobs is a show you created.
Yeah, it was a show. It's basically a show about me getting jobs that require hands to perform the duty of the job. So an example would be you need hands to be an EMT so you can like deliver babies and drive ambulances or help people.
I remember when you pitched it to me, you're like, it's dirty jobs, except I don't have hands.
Yes. That was my pitch. It's dirty.
I'm in. Count me
It's
in.
dirty jobs with Mike Rowe, only I don't have hands, and then that's the whole shtick.
Just you and a guy named Homelesspimp running around to the local airports asking for free helicopter rides.
Oh my God. That was a fun.
We should say, all right, so we have the show is Handjobs. It's you. It's kind of half sketch, half reality, half mockumentary.
Yeah, it's more of like Borat, more in the line of Borat or Bruno or.
And we have you go to a place, get trained by a handjobs professional.
Yeah.
Or no, handjob specialist is what we call them.
Yes.
That was great, dude.
The specialist is fun. I wish we had called them experts. Handjob experts would have been so much funnier.
Well, we make new ones. Let's do it. Let's do
well,
experts,
if we do the new ones, then definitely. But let me finish the story of the title, because you didn't like First Day Fridays. I went through a list of comedy albums, and I picked one that just said Handjob, and I was like, "How about Handjobs?" And you were like, "LMAO, love it. Handjobs is the title. That's it." And that's how the title Handjobs was born.
That's all I needed. I'm a title guy. If the title is funny, I know the rest of the show will be funny.
Yeah. You did not like First Day Fridays at all. You said that
because it sounds like almost Catholic or something.
Yeah, it sounded like shit.
It sounds like something you do during Lent
with
your grandmother.
Yeah.
But hand jobs is something I'm gonna do with my friends.
Yeah, it's just fucking boom. Plus, it's like hand jobs. It just sounds better than, what was it? It just sounds better than First Day Fridays.
No, dude, it was a brilliant idea. I forget where. I feel like the idea we kind of was brewed in the basement of Comedy Fight Club all those years ago, because I had filmed a documentary on Comedy Fight Club.
Yeah.
Which is how I kind of saw how brazen you were, because most of Comedy Fight Club was people just kind of roasting you.
Yeah, and Lovecraft, and when it was at the Lovecraft.
Kind of explain like the Comedy Fight Club world a little bit.
That was a fun couple of years. We did a show. I was at it.
So explain it. It's like a weekly.
It was a weekly show where friends got together and we just roasted each other, and whoever won, we gave them chocolates. That was it.
So it's a show mostly comedians went, mostly open mic comics went, younger comedians.
We were like the entry level.
Public,
yeah.
You go on a Sunday night and it was like 30 young comics just being brutal to each other, but somehow they're all best friends. It was
yeah, that was the gist of it. And it took me, I was sucked in the beginning, and I really wasn't good at roasting, and then I was trying to get better, but then I realized the tactic and I used it, and I got a little bit better using that tactic.
What was that?
Well, I know they're going to come after my body, so I would just use that against, I would use that to then be the bouncing board, the setup for my joke against them.
Interesting, a double down.
Yeah. So like,
you were hilarious, man. You would destroy people too.
Sometimes if I was lucky. There was one time that I roasted, I forgot who it was, Jake Vebra. When I found out he was a veteran, all I did was write like dead Iraqi jokes, and I did that at his birthday in front of his friends and family.
Jesus.
Who weren't even comics.
Oh my god.
Who weren't even comics.
Those are my favorites.
But like, I did the first one, and everyone groaned, and I was like, buckle up, there's 13 more. And I just kept going.
That's what I loved about you. I mean, I remember even following you around the city and just taping your sets for you, because even your sets, you didn't give a fuck at all, but you would go so far that the audience would either love it and be enthralled in it, or would be like, what the fuck is going on?
Or they'd be afraid to laugh. That was another thing that I couldn't.
So did that bother you doing comedy? Were people being kind of afraid to offend you?
No, I was never afraid of being offended. I was more afraid of like, oh, this is not funny. It's more, that was my most like concerned thing when I was doing comedy, was like, it's not funny or it's not working. That was like those are my biggest kind of like moments of like, okay, did the joke work? Are they laughing at the joke? Or are they laughing because I didn't do, or they're laughing at the fact that, oh, it's just he's trying to get somewhere, but it's not working. That was always my biggest concerns.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
That it was never about offending. You can never really.
Your material gets dark. I mean, you had one bit, and I wanted to ask if it was a true story.
I was coming home from a party, and I was talking to another girl, not my girlfriend. This happened a couple of years ago, and she was like, "Hey, come on over." And I didn't really want to, but she convinced me to go in anyway. And when I got to her place, it was very sketchy. It was like a 3-story house, but only one light was on. And before I got in, I was like, I'm probably gonna get robbed, right? So I sit on her couch, and like not even 2 minutes, with like sitting down on the couch, like these 2 guys bursted in. And the thing was, like, they weren't, like, I wasn't scared or anything because I was expecting them, but they weren't expecting me. That's the thing. I wasn't part of their plan. And then what ended up happening was, like, after a few moments, they're like, fuck it, let's just go with the robbery anyway. And they started yelling at the girl that catfished me. They were like, how dare you put a cripple in this situation, as they are taking my money out of my wallet and putting it in their pocket. One of them tried to take my watch until they realized it was like a Godzilla novelty watch, and they didn't even want it. They're like, here, you take that back. The one thing that I wanted them to take, they're like, no, we don't want that shit. Get that away from us. You think if I die, right, like God's last joke is like my wings are broken too? That was too far.
Oh, getting robbed? Yeah. That was a true story.
Yeah, so what's the story? You want to go through the story maybe?
I went on it was like a one night stand, and the girl called me back, and I went back to the place, and it was her and like 2 other people that robbed me, and then
so you met a girl.
Yeah.
She set it up.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So then it was
and
like,
where is this? Like Jersey, Newark? Where are you?
No, I think it was here.
Deep Jersey. Okay.
But yeah, I went back and I got robbed, and then they were gonna steal my watch, and then they realized it was a Godzilla watch, and then it was like, yeah, because I buy cheap watches. I'm not buying like major jewelry.
I'm not a watch guy. I don't get watches.
It's easy for me to tell time, and also I wore watches a lot when I did comedy because it was easier to hold a mic.
Oh.
If I had a watch on, I was able to hold a mic properly.
Oh wow.
So I was always wearing watches when I did comedy. I couldn't leave the house without wearing a watch to go and do comedy.
Oh, interesting.
Because if I did that, then there was no way for me to grab the microphone.
Oh wow.
So I used it as my extra thumb.
Oh wow. Okay. Well then watches fucking rock.
Yeah.
Well, at least they didn't steal your watch then.
Well, it was a cheap fucking $15 knockoff
They
watch.
literally
and
said to you, "Take your watch back."
they took it. Oh, they were the one guy that was gonna do it. I was like, oh, this is a little cheap watch. It's like, you're not gonna get much out of it. And then he looked at it. He saw that it was Godzilla, and then he was like, nah, dude, just take it.
Oh my god.
And I was like, the one thing I want you to steal, and you don't want it. My God.
That's wild. What was their robbing etiquette? Were they kind in robbery?
No.
They were like dicks. What were they doing?
They were robbing me. What the fuck do you think? It's like there's an etiquette to like, oh no, here, sir, have a seat. Now give us your wallet.
I don't know. I've been thinking about this lately. There's certain times when I've gotten jumped where they were polite about it versus when people don't have to be unnecessarily rough.
Oh, you're talking like a Lupin, kind of like a gentleman thief.
A gentleman thief. Yes, I like those guys.
My
Shout
God.
out those guys.
Yeah, shout out to them that are still. But these weren't Lupin. They're not robbing rich people.
So like what where how do you get home? Oh, hold on, let me just.
How do I get home?
Yeah, like what happens?
I still have my cards, but like.
Oh, you drove there.
No, well, yes, but I still have my cards, like my credit cards. They didn't steal that. They just took the cash.
Yeah,
so.
That's not like one of the craziest bits based on like a true story I've ever heard.
There's tons that are there that are true stories. The bowling story is real.
Like, does that girl ever hit you up again? The one who set you up? Like, there's just no contact ever again.
No, come on, dude.
She didn't feel,
really?
Like, what did she say in that situation? What is the moment where it goes
Nothing. She's the one getting fucking money. Like, what the fuck, you know?
So you walked in. This is crazy to me. So you walked in, and did you know initially there was something totally off about it, or was there a moment where they
No,
the scene?
it wasn't. It was just like how you normally get jumped. It comes out of nowhere. Starts off as friendly, and then it doesn't get friendly.
What was her messaging on the app like?
It was more
like for other people who are on these apps. Like how do you avoid that situation?
I don't know. I just
like you didn't see any fishiness in the way she was.
Well, I had problems of my own, so it was like, oh, I didn't see this as red flags, even though I should have. But I had like.
Dude, you get blinded by it happens to everybody I know.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're deep into something. You're like, why was this helpful to me? You know.
Well, that's the thing is like I didn't have the wherewithal to like know what I was getting into because I was pretty fucking stupid. Yeah. So I walked into that situation.
I'm still fucking right there. I'm stupid as hell.
Yeah, but like I should have been smarter about the situation, but it was mostly my fault.
And it was a great bit. It got in my head for years. It's like I think about it all the time. Dude.
Oh man, that one and
I've always wanted to make that a film. I think it's a very interesting story.
Oh God, me getting robbed, dude. There's so many times I've been robbed.
Before and after. There's so many times.
Yeah, dude.
Oh wow.
Like the subway.
What the hell happens on the subway?
It wasn't now, but it was like a while ago. I got robbed. I got a knife point.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they just took my wallet, and that was the end of that.
Jesus Christ, dude. That's terrible.
Yeah, you're crippled in the city. What do you think is going to happen? You think
I don't know. I've never thought of it.
Well, we're an easy target. You're an easy target because you're carrying a lot of shit.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's why. Yeah,
you're an easy target for robbery, no doubt about it. And you're always high, so it's like
and I look
easy.
like this.
Yeah, easy target.
Oh no, yeah, the target's definitely on me.
Yeah, and I'm also an easy target because I'm crippled, so there's
of that.
not a fighting chance. I'm not gonna fight the guy, you know.
Jesus. So how does that song and dance go? Are they shitty about it too?
Some of them are, but not.
Some of them are.
Yeah.
What's what's a nicer what's a nicer robber's approach, you think?
I'm not gonna give them advice to rob people nicely.
You think I'm ready to be a lifeguard now?
Well, since it's the end of the day, you know, it's really not busy, I guess you can try and be a lifeguard.
Okay. So, yeah, I got this.
Alright.
Yeah. I mean, how hard could it be? Lifeguard of the year. World handicaps.
I think I'm drowning. I think I'm drowning. I'm drowning. I'm drowning. I'm drowning.
I'm drowning!
I'm drowning.
I'm drowning too! Help! I'm drowning! Help! 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 I'm drowning!
I'm drowning.
Help me! Help!
Chloe!
Chris, use this.
Help me!
No. It's too hot to die.
Shit. Damn it.
I'm gonna have to do mouth to mouth. Do you consent to mouth to mouth? Oh shit.
Too hot to die. Not to lose this one.
Hey, what the fuck happened?
I'm trying to save them.
You killed 2 people?
That was my first day.
You're fired.
So much for a day at the pool.
We were a dentist, Pilates instructor, barista, boxer, helicopter pilot, wrestler. Did I say dentist already?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, and a magician.
Magician
Yes.
and
And then a competitive eater. That was another one.
competitive eater. We got Crazy Legs Conti, who
Yeah.
actually was a reigning champion, or
Yeah, he was a reigning
rated
champion.
in the world.
Yep.
And I don't know, man. It was wild watching you do all that stuff, and you would just run headfirst into it. I mean, during the wrestler bit, like you were slammed by a giant naked man into a
Yes.
mat. How did that feel when he slammed you? I wasn't there for that shooting day. It
Oh,
always bummed me out.
that one was rough. That one was rough because I had to do that. We did a run through on it. I think we did it 3 times. We did the run through on the
Oh, you guys rehearsed it that day.
yeah. We
Because
did,
John Sheridan had filled in for me that day.
yes.
You were in Philly, right?
No, I was in Hoboken.
Hoboken. Okay.
We were in Hoboken. Where I work now is in Hoboken, ironically. But it's not in the same place where I got destroyed.
So set up the scene for that. Did the audience really know you were about to get smashed?
No. I was there at around, I think it was like we started at 4:30 and we rehearsed it. I think we shot the opening with Matt there. I think Matt was there. So we shot the opening of the episode there with John. And then what ends up happening is we go inside and I see the ring already made, and then I say hi to the guy that's gonna destroy me, and he's this big tall guy, very nice guy, And he comes over to me. He's like, "Hey, how you doing? You want to go through the move, or what do you want to do? Or do you want me to go? You know?" I was like, "Look, just grab me, and fucking just slam me down. Like, make it look ugly." And the thing was like, when I saw the move being done, right, the first words out of my mouth were, "I want to rehearse that," because I wanted it to look good.
You
So,
don't want to get hurt either.
but also, like, rehearsing it makes you, if you rehearse things, there's less of a problem when you actually have to do it, because you're like, oh, just do what we did in rehearsals. Yeah. It's not you don't think, because you don't want to think when you're doing that. You want it to be like, okay, he grabs me and do the move, boom, lay down.
Just like stand-up.
Yeah, you want it to feel like a kind of extension of that. Like, you don't want to think about it when you're doing the stunt, because when you do a stunt, it could be very, very bad if you start thinking about what you have to do in the stunt. You really want it to be, like, better. And by the way, I've been watching Tom Cruise and his bullshit.
Oh, God.
And you know me and my jealousy of Tom fucking Cruise.
You're jealous of him, yeah?
I fucking am jealous of him. He's such a fucking pompous bitch. I want to beat him in every stunt. Like, if he does a motorcycle stunt, I want to do a motorcycle stunt. If he does the helicopter one, I topped him. I got a helicopter stunt.
You did. You really... When you came to me and you said, "I'm going to get us a helicopter," and I'm like, "Dude, we have $0." And you're like, "No, I'm going to get us a helicopter."
Yep.
I could not believe when I'm sitting in the back of a fucking helicopter,
Yep.
filming you, and we're going to do a bit where we cut the engine for a second for a shot.
To make David Spector wet himself. We were going to crash a helicopter just for a bit.
That's the thing that's amazing about the show. It's like, it was all you bringing it to life. I would just show up with the cameras and the microphones, but we really got shit done.
Oh.
You know, like, shout out to Riley, right? Her dad set up the dentist.
Yeah.
Matt Maron helped a lot.
Yeah. With yeah.
But dude, like, just you getting hit in the back with a chair and the wrestling.
That wasn't that only hurt because I put my elbows back, and when he slammed it, he hit my elbow. But that one, I had my arms forward, so I learned the last time. The Pilates one was the one where I was the most sore.
Yeah, you getting slammed. I mean, it really is such a fucking classic series.
Oh yeah,
I give you so much credit. You get hit in the nuts.
Oh, the street one, the street performer.
Juggler. Remember when we had you signed you up for a musical open mic and just trolled an open mic at pianos downtown? Or sidewalks downtown? Yes.
And that was at the end of the piano bar.
The audience had no idea what we were doing, and just Crespo goes up, and you started playing the Jaws theme on the piano. And there was one lady who hated you in the audience. Remember that?
Oh,
lady?
yes.
She hated you, dude.
You caught her I think you caught her face in that shot.
That was a classic. There were so many moments where you would just go wild, bro. You would truly go wild.
Yeah, I mean, that was so much fun. My favorite freaking thing that I did on that show was the helicopter, to be honest with you. That one was my favorite. The wrestler was...
First of all, how did it feel to pilot a helicopter?
Well, I learned that I was physically not able to pilot a helicopter, but I tried anyway. It was really fun.
What was the reasoning again?
Well, the thing is that the joystick is so forward, and I have no arm length, so it's like I have to push forward and grab it. But then you need a seatbelt, and the seatbelt's holding you back. And all the buttons are in the middle. But, like, there was no way. But it was so much fun. It was so much fun to ride a helicopter, dude.
I was kind of scared, man.
Oh, it is fucking scary. It is fucking
scary.
scary.
It's not that I don't trust you. I mean, you drove me to Connecticut. That was crazy, too.
Oh, I drove you everywhere. I
know,
drove
man.
you and Matt everywhere.
You drove us everywhere, and it was wild to me. Like
me driving a car is safer than, like, half the comics that you asked to get behind the wheel.
Yeah. Well, they were all coked out, probably.
Yeah. And I've been behind the wheel, like, I've been in the car with somebody that's coked out. It's not fun. It's, like, the worst thing ever.
That's awesome, man. Did you learn to drive right away?
Not really. I took my time driving, and then I really took my time, but then I learned. My mother had a Chevy Astro van.
Oh, fantastic.
So those cars are the worst to, like, but they're the worst, but they're the best to learn how to drive. Because if you know how to master driving a van, you pretty much you're good. Like, you can drive anything.
Interesting.
But like, I used to drive that Chevy van, and it was like a lot of fun.
Yeah, but it was a hilarious day. You drove me out to Connecticut where you boxed Cordell Booker, who is a pro fighter. I'm not sure of his ranking as of now, but he's a good guy. And he's hilarious.
Yeah. We were supposed to.
What job? I want to know what job like hurt the most or sucked the most.
Not really sucked, but like hurt the most was probably Pilates, because I when I did Pilates, I was like bragging about it. We're gonna do Pilates, yay! We're gonna have our first almost I wanted to do a job that was like feminine too, like that I felt like we were doing too many guy stuff, and I thought.
True, actually.
And I wanted to do more like women heavy.
But to our credit, we really tried to get you to be a nail tech at a nail salon.
Dude, that was supposed to be our pilot, remember?
That was going to be amazing. We got to do that. Anyone with a nail salon who will let us come out for a couple hours, please.
To do it, yep.
Let Crespo paint someone's nails.
Yes.
Let Crespo do a facial on hand jobs.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Yes, please.
I would totally be down. But that was supposed to be our pilot. We never did. We never got it.
Well, no nail salon would agree, man. That's the other thing. Like, you come into these businesses pitching hand jobs. I don't know if I really.
But also, we had. I'm not gonna lie. We had such. I don't even know how to describe this. We had such a tough time getting the nail salon that when Darren was like, "Yo, my boxing gym is like willing and able to like do this. Let's do it." And I was like, let's do Boxer as our pilot. And you were like, okay. That was our pilot.
Dude, like, that's the other thing. I give everyone who was a part of the series credit, because people loved the idea so much that a lot of the stuff was donated, or just people, kind of gave their time, or gave their piano, or gave their helicopter. Somebody gave you fucking helicopter.
Yeah, somebody gave us a helicopter. We had, dude, there were people that were willing to give us like so many things. The one kind of thing that I wish we had done, but we were never able to film it, was parachuter.
Yeah, there was some, we should say,
Skydiver
episodes that we were dead set. We had stuff written for, there was stuff ready to go. And
well,
it got canceled even like day before sometimes.
That one wasn't canceled. We just never set it up. Bowling got canceled on the day we were going to film it.
Yeah.
And
why did the guy bail again?
I don't know, his agent told him that it wasn't going to look.
Bowling agent?
His sports agent was like, no, I don't think we should do it.
Whoever that guy is, fuck you.
No, we may need him.
He could have used a hand job.
Well, I don't know. We had that script ready to roll.
What other? You want to do bullfighter? You're dead set on doing bullfighter.
I want to do PBR. PBR is the big one.
What's PBR?
Professional bull riding. I mean, look it up. I mean, professional bull riding. It's coming to New York in January 6th. 5th, 6th, and 7th, I think.
Dude, you will get it.
It's the most craziest fucking sport you'll ever imagine.
You're ridiculous. You're gonna die for the show.
I'm gonna die, but it'll be fucking hilarious. I just want to do it so that way it's like so funny to watch the show. Like, but to be honest with you, I would not want to get into. Well, I'll do it if we're in. I'll do a fucking bullfighting thing. That'll be fun.
You're nuts. What was the other thing you wanted to do? Well, you wanted to go to Spain and do it.
Well,
Which, hey,
if we were gonna go,
some money,
that was the movie. That was the movie idea.
That was the movie. Handjobs, the film.
Yeah, the movie idea was also
to go to.
We were gonna do two versions of it. Either we were gonna go abroad to do different jobs,
or
we were gonna do NASA.
Yes.
NASA was my fucking biggest thing. And if we ever get NASA,
what were you gonna do at NASA? Astronaut or engineer?
Astronaut, of course. That's the whole point. We'd go to fucking NASA is to be an astronaut, not to be an engineer. Fuck those guys. I can't hack it as an astronaut. I'll be an engineer and prepare the ship and watch it fly with my dreams. Fucking no. I want to be an astronaut.
We also tried to get you as a firefighter, and we had it set up in the Hamptons, and it fell through out there.
I thought it was Staten Island. Oh, no, Staten Island.
Hamptons out east.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be funny to have you putting out like a mansion fire.
That would be amazing. And just watch it burn.
did we have? A cop, I think.
We had rock climber that we were supposed to do for fucking ever. We had rock climber on the list, and we had 2 people, and one of them went fucking nuts, and that's why we had to leave.
Yeah, but I mean, look, if any of the fans or anybody listening can help us get a job in the New York area to film, we'll do it.
I mean, even PA, we'll go to PA and do it.
Yeah, anywhere. Anything that's wild or you really have a connection. Let's try to think it over, because why not, dude? The world needs hand jobs, right?
Glass blowing would be an awesome thing. It would be so funny.
What about like karate instructor?
See, I'm trying to think, because like the thing about NASA too was like that was like our movie idea.
Oh yeah, that's
but
like a headline.
That's just the movie. That the whole movie is me and NASA. But did I ever tell you the title for it?
I think so, but hit me with it.
Hand jobs in space. That's it.
That's what we need.
Hand jobs in
America
space.
Needs. Save America with hand jobs.
Hand jobs in space. That's the whole thing.
Let's tune into this scene. This is you stuffing
In
hot
part
dogs
because it's a
down your fucking throat, dude. I was afraid you were gonna drown in hot dogs, to be honest.
I was so worried about getting stain on my face and clothes.
food I think you might excel at.
By the way, the worst part about the hot dog,
Is the Jello champ.
the worst part about the hot dog wasn't wolfing down the hot dog. It was stuffing it in the water and then chewing it.
Gross me out.
Because soggy bread in your mouth is the fucking it took everything in my power not to gag, because it was like the soggy bread was like I couldn't.
Hard to watch. Even you slurping Jello, I'm like, oh my god. I hate
Oh no, the slurping Jello wasn't bad.
Oh. And then the corn on the cob was tough.
Oh god, yeah.
Where did we film this scene? This professional.
This was
eater-
at a bar.
The professional eater was a bartender, and we went to his day shift and filmed during his
Yes,
day shift.
yes, we could still go there.
Let's get there to get some drinks there, bro.
I think it's around 9th Street.
Yeah, it is. It's right over there.
Oh my
Forget
god.
the name of it. Lifeguard was another one, dude. Lifeguard was crazy.
Oh my
The
god.
fact we got a pool club to co-sign this.
Oh yeah, that was nuts.
I mean, and shout out Victoria for being this hand job specialist.
Oh yeah.
She was great. I mean, dude, you remember there was one part where you're swimming, you're trying to follow her across the pool, and the bit was you can't make it, blah, blah, blah. But there was a moment where
She grabbed me
you're
up.
underwater, and we all looked at each other. And then there was that one extra beat where I was like, maybe you just go check on him. Maybe just go check
No,
on
I
him.
would have used it.
No, but
You know how I
she
am.
pulled you up, and you were fine. You were just, I don't know. You were
Yeah,
fucking
but you
around.
know how I am, dude. Like the whole point of hand jobs is to make me look bad. You know.
Yeah, but it didn't help the edit. Dude, this episode's hilarious. As
Yeah.
it is, man. You diving in and having to make the choice between
Hot chick
the
or
hot chick or what was that comedian's name? I forgot.
Andrew Casatano.
No, Andrew and what was her name? Andrew and
This was the worst. I couldn't get up right away because the fucking thing was wet, and I almost tripped the first time. So I was trying to be very gingerly about it.
dude, I was worried about you on the top of that fucking thing. Let's see the dive again. This dive is iconic, dude. And the fact we got it underwater was
Oh yeah. Boom.
classic.
Oh my god, it's like a shrimp swimming.
Classic. But like, how did you feel being a lifeguard? What was your honest review of that?
Of like doing the job for real?
Yeah, but you know, the mechanics of hand jobs aside, like, what did you think the job that was most annoying, regardless of your whatever you're up, whatever your body's up to?
You know what's funny? You remember Barista?
Yeah, dude, you got burned on the.
Hold on. You know I did get a job as a barista.
Did you really?
Yeah, for real.
What was that like in real life?
It sucks. It fucking sucks. I'd rather be a bartender.
Were people nasty?
You do get nasty folks. And that's
Really?
yeah.
Fuckers, dude. And
But-
what does someone nasty say to coffee shop to you?
No, but it's like, like you ran out of something and they're like, ugh, and I'm like, yeah, dude, sometimes it happens. But I was mostly like, I treated that job like a bartender, like, hey Susie, what are you doing? My worst job?
Yeah.
I think it was cart pusher. That was like my first job
Oh, yeah.
ever. First job ever was like pushing carts.
For what, a 6-hour day or 8-hour?
No, it was a part-time job. It was
Okay.
smaller. But I was like 16, 17 when I
Okay.
did the job. It was nothing really. It was a pain in the ass because we didn't have those big fancy machines that
So you
put all
just
the
out there
carts together.
pushing. And then what happened after cart pusher? What did you do?
I didn't really.
What was the next worst job?
The next worst job was probably like odd jobs on set.
Oh, like
Getting
PAing?
yeah, PAing was another fucking. I hated that.
Nightmare, dude. I used to drive the box trucks. It's a nightmare.
Ugh.
Nightmare.
I used to be the guy that ran and got coffee, and then everybody got mad. So I was like, ugh.
They always get mad.
My one PA job that was like really fucking funny, that made me kind of like go, all right, I'm done. Was I had to go up in Harlem in this dance studio, and this producer comes over to me. And he's like, "Here's $50. Go to the bodega, buy every water bottle and every water gallon you can find." And I'm like, okay. Mind you, it's the middle of fucking summer, and we're at a dance studio, and they're arguing with like the director of the dance studio, because the director doesn't want them to pour water on the floor, because it's a dance studio and you don't want your dancers to break their fucking legs.
To get sued, yeah.
Yeah, so I had to go downstairs, buy gallons of water for $50, and then bring it back to the studio in like black bags. And I asked the guy, "Do you have any bags that they can't be seen through?" And I just sneaked the fucking black bags up those fucking like 3 or 4 flights of stairs, dragged them in there. And mind you, it was like this room, like in terms, it wasn't like, it was wooden floors, but there was a ton of fucking wiring equipment everywhere, lighting equipment everywhere. And they're like, "All right, just sit in the corner and just pour the water on the floor for like a couple of shots." I was like, okay. Mind you, there's electrical equipment everywhere, and I'm like, I don't want to die.
Wait a minute, the water's being poured on what? On something in frame?
On the floor, yeah.
Interesting.
I was the one pouring the water into the frame.
There's some productions where it feels like they have a PA just to blame them if something goes wrong with their idea.
Yeah.
I feel like I've never felt lower in my life than when I was a PA. People just were so weird on sets.
They fucking are terrible.
The bigger the set, the weirder they were acting, man. It was really weird.
It's so like unbelievably like, that's why I don't really.
Demeaning. I remember one time I had to do a car commercial for some high-end company. I was a random odd job, and I was the PA, and they ordered me to work overnight and with a toothbrush scrub this green screen that the car was going to drive on. And I was like, okay. And I got like halfway done, and then one of the producers came in later in the night, like they shifted producer, and came in and was screaming, "What the fuck? Who ruined the green screen? Why would you do this?" And I took orders directly from them. It was a mess, bro. I got fired. And I was like, I literally did what you guys asked. I didn't want to sit on the floor like Annie scrubbing the fucking green screen. Dude, PAing was a nightmare. PAing was definitely a nightmare. I think my weirdest job was I used to be the pallbearer at funerals for people who didn't have anyone. So, like, let's say that you only had one relative, they couldn't carry you in and out of the church and be the only one in attendance.
Oh.
So I would get paid $100 an hour to just carry in caskets for people who had no one. That was definitely the strangest job. That was in high school.
Yeah. I don't think I never had like a strange job. Yeah, no.
Well, that's surprising.
I always had like normal jobs or like private sector jobs that I hate. And private sector jobs are the worst.
I'd love to see you go like ghost hunting. I feel like that'd be a fun.
Why would I go ghost hunting? I'm not gonna scam people. That's.
Come on, that's America, buddy.
No, it's not America. That's
it's
just
so funny. I haven't seen you since what? The pandemic now?
Oh yeah, we did the modeling thing.
Yeah. I photographed you in Chrissy Chaos's merch lookbook. That was a while ago now. Yeah, you said you were writing horror books now?
Yeah, I was writing a horror novel, and hopefully one of them's being edited, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'm just kind of hoping that we can publish the book by next year. And
how weird is it to write horror? Do you just think of the worst things ever?
No.
Like, how do you write like a horror punchline, like a big horror moment?
It's kind of similar to writing like a comedy punchline. You gotta get.
Except you're thinking of like the darkest thing. I remember you were telling me like stories about a firehouse that burned down, or.
Yeah, that was one of the novels that I'm kind of I'm gonna tweak later on, but I'm doing a kind of the novel's called Boy Meets Corpse, and it's a love horror novel about a boy that a guy that is a necrophiliac, and he digs up his high school sweetheart.
Amazing.
And he's like having all this corpse bride shit going on in his house. It's amazing.
That's great, dude.
I fucking love that book, but it reads like a romantic comedy, but it's with corpses.
That's awesome. We should shoot a scene of it. That'd be cool.
Like if you and I ever got the chance to make that into a movie,
why not, man?
I would jump at that chance.
You never know. I'm dying to make more Yeah, why not?
I want to do it, but if I was going to do that movie, if I was going to do that book, the one thing I would say is like we can't shoot it like a traditional horror movie. It's got to be like a romantic comedy. All the shot compositions, the music, everything that you would do for a rom-com, even like Hallmark Channel rom-coms. That's what you got to do for that book. That's the only way.
I love it, man. Yeah, I'm hyped to see it, and I'll definitely, when it comes out, I'll make sure to promote it. Remind me to promote it. I want to make sure.
Still looking for agents on that one, but hand jobs is the one thing that I would really love. I would really love to do it again. That was really fun though. I would still want to do train conductor.
Yeah, what were the other ones? Train conductor.
We had train conductor, fireman, rock climber.
I think you said like FBI or some kind of training.
Bomb squad.
Bomb squad.
And I had bomb squad on. The thing was, I had bomb squad on. But the guy that runs it in Jersey City, he probably, I don't know, he didn't like me, and he just cut me off. So I was like, fuck.
Damn, dude.
But, if we got bomb squad, holy shit, that would be fun. We're going to do sign language interpreter.
Sign language interpreter.
And I reached out to the mayor's office, and they sent me back a really nasty letter. A nasty email about like, oh, it's not funny to make fun of disabled people. I'm like, I'm a disabled person that wants to learn a disabled language. So what are you talking about? Like, we're not making fun of people that are deaf. We're making fun of me trying to do sign language.
I mean, do you think that's a real thing? That's hilarious that they did that to you. Like,
yeah, I showed you the email.
Is there a hierarchy of disability?
No, there's no real hierarchy in disability because we're all treated like shit anyway.
Oh my
so
God.
There's no real hierarchy.
It's only funny because it's true, man. I don't know why society.
There's no real disability that's like, oh no, he's better than no. They still treat you like they treat you like you're all retarded. So it doesn't matter. Like that's how they treat you. They treat you like you're retarded, and then that's how they treat you. Like you're not a person. And then when you talk, it's like, oh, you talk normal. Oh, okay. Or God help you if you have like a slur or anything like that. It's over. Like they just go, oh, they pity you and
it's so gross, man. People really are like that. I've seen it in the drop of a hat. I've seen it.
Yeah, you saw it with me, and then you saw it with I don't know.
I mean, anybody who's different, like anyone who's different, people treat that way. I was on the road with Nick Novicki. I'm around a lot of people that are treated like that. It's definitely like it's shallow of everybody.
It is very shallow. Excuse me. But yeah, man. I mean, that's kind of the other thing is like I was trying to figure out when I was doing comedy. I was trying to figure out how I can use that to my advantage in a weird way.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I wasn't able to crack the code, which is what bothered me.
I think you should go back to it, man. I loved your comedy personally.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking a lot to other comics, but again, it's like, what am I going back into? The pandemic was also something that I was like watching a lot of people be completely fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. So if it wasn't like, hey, your friend died, it was, yo, this is just a pandemic, dude. So you had those two problems, and I was like, that's why I got out of social media, because I was like, I don't want to wake up and find out like so and so died, But then I also don't want to wake up and find out, oh, this guy's also an idiot because he went down the Kool-Aid road and he drank it. So
yeah, social media, dude, it's fully toxic.
It's so toxic. And what's weird is like people said to me like, "Oh, well, you're not going to know a lot of shit." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not going to know like up to date on the fucking scene. Like you told me shit from the scene that I did not know."
Yeah, man.
But like
it's all bullshit in the bigger picture. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, but like also like I don't like being on social media anymore. I just felt like what was I doing here? I really plus like if you're really friendly with me, you're going to talk to me over the phone or text me or things like that.
It's weird. You're like you're peddling this version of yourself.
Which isn't even real to begin with.
Oh, of course
And
not.
then you're like sad because the real you isn't what people like. They like the version of yourself that isn't even real. So they want the fake copy of you,
but
not the real
don't know
you.
that it's fake. That's why I'm happy I do what I do. I know media literacy. I know there's a team of people spinning everything 100 ways. That's why I kind of use social media in a like a observer's way. I don't try to overindulge in it because, like you said, there's people who I'm like, they'll never come back. They're lost.
Yeah, there's people that are totally down that rabbit hole and
their brain breaks. It's like an addict. It's truly, I don't know, a powerful drug, I think.
I never saw the appeal after, like, when I left, I never saw the appeal of, like, going back to Facebook or Twitter.
But my thing is, like, that's why I love to make stuff like hand jobs, where it's pretty much a fuck you to all the media that they're actually pushing on people, where it's like Kim Kardashian fucking twerking, or somebody canceling somebody else.
This
is not a drill, right?
This is not a drill, Chris.
You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, hey, Matt.
Chris, you are my dentist? He's my dentist?
Today, Chris is your dentist.
You knew I was going to be here, didn't you?
How would I know? I just follow you everywhere on social media.
You've got to be kidding me. You're letting him be a dentist?
Yeah.
Today, Chris is your dentist.
I got a new job.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Cool. Let's do it.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, God. You need to do it as well.
It's my first day.
Yep.
Chris, how long have you been practicing this, Chris?
That's perfect. Almost got it.
Hold still.
Great. Perfect.
Yes.
Did you, like, get certified or anything?
What?
To be a dentist?
I don't talk Hebrew. What are you worried about?
How long this is gonna take?
Oh, don't worry. It'll take a short time before. I'm sorry.
I'll help you.
Thank you, doctor.
Sure.
What am I watching?
We're ready.
You're sure this is normal?
Yeah, dude. It's totally fine.
Why?
Here you go.
Open line.
Oh,
Great.
God.
Let me see here. You said on the lower it is painful?
Uh-huh.
Okay. This
Is
one
that-
down here, yeah. You just have to put the point on the tooth and make sure it's not soft and
Which
there's
tooth?
no decay.
This one?
Yes, that one. He said that one. Make sure you hold the mirror. Retract the tongue.
This is really
You have to
hard.
hold it like this.
Oh. Can you hold on to the mirror?
No shit, it's hard.
Well, it's my first
Oh
day.
yeah, I'll hold the mirror for you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Like
That's
that?
his gum. No, on the tooth, not
On the
his
tooth.
gum.
Oh,
Because
right
it's
here?
pointy. Yeah, right there.
What am I taking out?
That amalgam. You have to use the drill to take that out. You can't take that out with this.
Huh?
spool.
Ah!
Fine. It'll be fine.
You sure you can't just do this one?
No, I'll help him. I'll hold the mirror.
Do I have to be the first person he ever drills?
I'll help him.
Hold still! Hold still, dude! You're not making it easier.
Riley, you can come on back.
What did you think of being a dentist?
It was so funny. I just couldn't stop laughing. Like, thank God I had a face mask on, because I would have just been smiling the whole time. Smiling and laughing.
Matt was so worried.
No, there was a line that he said that he was like, he asked me something in English, and I said to him, I think, what is it that I said to him? I said, oh man, I don't speak Hebrew or something like that. And he got
That's the line. That shit cracked me up.
I don't speak Hebrew. Like, what are you talking about? Like, say it in English.
And the nurse who was in the sketch, so many good people were part of this series.
So many great fucking moments, dude.
I still have to release the wrestler episode and the helicopter episode, and then they're all back online.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely have to make some more coming up. But yeah, the barista, I remember you had burned yourself on the latte machine, right?
I still burn myself in the latte machine.
Still?
Yeah, when I did the real job, like when I had the real job,
So what happened with the real job? Did you quit? How did it end?
Oh, they didn't want to accommodate me, so they just let me go.
Yeah, so how do people, like, if they're going to fire you? Because a lot of the show was that you had been fired from jobs enough.
Well, yeah, that's the gag, is that I'm an asshole, and they just,
But is this based in real life in any way? Like, how do people fire you or usually let you go from a position?
Well, when they want to let me go, they put me in situations that is physically demanding.
Okay.
And then it's like, of course you're going to fuck up. And then it's like, oh, well, because you fucked up and we don't want to accommodate you, we have to let you go.
So they set you up.
Yeah, that's basically what Starbucks did. They were like,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I needed it was, what was it? It was like right before the pandemic. I had been let go, right? From my contract had ended, and that was it. They didn't want to renew it. So I was like, okay. So I went into like trying to find another job, and I wasn't able to find another job. And then I was just applying for, like, shotgunning for anything. And I got this part-time job as a barista, and I said, all right, I'll do it. And I did it. And I was laughing a little bit. I was like, oh, I'm a barista. I did it in hand jobs. It was funny, But then when you actually do the job, it is kind of annoying because, all right, you see me doing it for one drink, like Matt's drink, right? But when you have to do it for like 50 people in a rush, it's the worst. It's the worst. And then you have attitudes all the time. You have to do foods on top of that.
And people are nasty.
Oh, yeah.
I was in Starbucks about a week ago, and I just took me a second to find the right credit card, and the lady said, get out of my way, I'll buy his coffee, get out of the way. And bought me a coffee. Like, people are fucking...
Whatever, let her buy you the coffee.
Yeah, I know, it tasted good, bitch.
Yeah, but it's just... Those kinds of jobs, like service jobs, people just don't take it they take it for granted.
So what was, like, any nightmare stories from Starbucks? Like, any specific memories that stand out?
Christmas rush was always a bitch.
Christmas rush?
Yeah,
at
dude.
Starbucks, okay.
Yeah,
because... beans or...
for drinks and food. Like, people would go shopping, and then I was at a mall, so, like, you would have customers rushing in to get the coffee, and then you would have another rush of, like, the employees coming in to get the coffee. So you have double rushes. And then by the time you were finished, the one good thing about Starbucks is sometimes they let you take the food.
You see it coming.
Yeah. And I used to
go like that, huh?
Well, they didn't want to accommodate me. So they put all the stuff on the top shelf.
So fucking annoying.
So I couldn't reach anything on the top shelf. I had to get someone to pull it down. So they were like, yeah, we're not going to move that. We're sorry, but we're going to let you go. And that's where... Yeah, now I'm making $20,000 a year, and I'm okay for now. I'm hoping to make more money, and probably, I don't know.
Well, you when you apply to a job, you have to be very upfront. Like, what is?
You definitely do, but like, I was talking about this the other day. It was like, I was trying to get a job in a college. Those were the other things. Like, I was applying for jobs at a college, and they would always ask you, are you disabled? And then I would say yes, and then I would never hear back from them. And it was always like, I would apply, when I say everywhere, I applied to colleges from like Maine to Alaska to Hawaii to Florida to all over the fucking place. I'd say, yeah, I'm disabled, and then never hear back. I got one of the offers was a callback, and I think it was, but that's the thing with any job is like you never know.
And it's so annoying because you're such a hard worker too. You're such a brilliant guy.
Yeah,
it comes down to frivolous bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, you're pretty determined, dude. Look at what hand jobs became just with the two of us.
Yeah, I mean, hand jobs was just 11 episodes. We were supposed to do 12, but then I think we did 11.
Yeah, and we're gonna do more, but it's just it's a bummer that there's so much potential and it becomes pretty much political. That's political to me.
I don't know if that's political. I think it's more of a bias.
But I mean, that's why I actually love the show because I've actually had people come up to me and say that it's inspiring. People find it legitimately inspiring, and that's kind of why I shot it.
That's nice.
Is because it feels like kind of based in reality. Like you just said, like people were shitty to you for being handicapped. So this is the only thing we could make to say fuck you.
Yeah, we can do that.
In the way that we wanted to do, in a funny way.
I mean, if we want to do hand jobs again, we can. We can definitely do it again.
I think we do try to do a few a year at least. Try to get some funding or at least find places locally that'll help us out and hook it up.
That's the thing is like, what can we do? See, like this is like lightning in a bottle, and to like recreate it in the same format, I think we have to try something else or.
We'll play around with it. Oh, that's easy.
I mean, even hand jobs, like even if I was older, it would still be funnier.
It's classic.
Because it's funny. Like the idea of an old cripple trying to find work, it's still funny.
Yeah.
Then you add the thing of like being old, the gag of me being old and disabled and still an asshole. On top of that, you're playing with so many things you can do.
That, dude. I love it. Yeah, so when you made this, what was your purpose? Because I have a lot of people stop me and talk about this show, and they try to give the credit to me, but this is your
well,
production.
it's our baby.
Course,
it's not mine.
But I mean, like, what was your inspiration to do this? Because I know what mine was.
Mine inspiration to do this was to make people laugh, first and foremost, and then try to see if it actually, gets on the air. Like that's always been the primary goal, dude. I never wanted,
but let's say it gets on the air. I think it's important. I think it'll get on air. But why is it important for you to be on air?
Because then it would be, first of all, we'd have a bigger budget. I would feel like we made it. Even if the show gets canceled, I struck my, I dug, I found my goal, it's there. Even if it's on DVD or on Blu-ray, whatever, it's there. It's all there. You know what I'm saying? It's
official.
It's official is what I'm saying.
That stamp of officialness.
Like I wouldn't give a fuck if like the show got canceled. Like everyone, oh, your show got canceled. I have a show, bitch. Like I have a show.
Amazing. I honestly think it would be like legitimately inspiring. But while I was watching this back and thinking about talking to you, I did want to know like what advice you would give to other people who are like a young Crespo. What advice would you really give to someone out there who's trying to make it creatively yourself?
To a younger version of myself or a younger
version of yourself?
Well, I would just say keep working, be a good person, and like try to find the funny in what you have, and just make that something that is utterly hilarious. Like being a good person is number one, and then making sure that like what you have in terms of like, because you really do have to have a thick skin with these people, because they will constantly make fun of you. Like they will constantly make fun of your disability. You don't know how many times I've been in an open mic and they would just like oh, how do you jerk off? And like it was always the same question.
So hacked.
But yeah, it was so hacked. But I always had the same answer, which was like, oh, your mom helps, and that crushed. Like, first of all, it just takes the piss out, and it also takes the wind out of their sails, and the audience just goes, oh shit, and that's it. And
I guess that's true. That's part of it.
But like, it's always, if they feel like that's the way they want to play with me, then they just stop. But like, yeah, man, it's just you gotta be.
What do you think the point is? What is the psychology of that guy yelling that? Like, what is the point?
Well, he was bombing, so he was just grasping at straws.
So desperate.
Which is what I do, but that's my angle. Get off of it, you piece of shit. I'm the one grasping at straws here. You can literally grab whatever you want.
So your advice is thick skin.
Yeah.
Because I guess.
But also be a good person. Like, don't just be a dick.
Like, is it something people have to come up and just? It feels like they have to just say it at you. Is it something like that, or is it like?
What, like the
do
thing?
Do people just yell about your disabilities at you all day?
No.
Okay.
Normal people don't. Normal people just avoid me. But yeah, no. I mean, some people talk about it, but I don't really. Like, I'm so used to it. Like, when it comes to like talking with like kids, it's a lot easier because like, oh, they just take it in and move on.
Yeah, they're genuine. There's no judgment. I don't understand what the judgment about handicaps are. That's what I never understood about society.
Well, the thing about the judgment of like that goes back to like disability being other, being another that isn't a group of society that you don't want to be, there before the grace of God go I, has always been what the people view the disabled community as. So it's always been like thank God it's not me situation. But that's always been with any kind of group in America, doesn't matter. You can say that about any minority group. Pick a minority group and you can say the same thing,
Yeah, it's true.
You have a bunch of problems that are systematic, and if you don't fix those, you're not going anywhere. Doesn't matter what you are or where you're from. If you ain't fixing the problem from the inside, it's not going to happen on the outside. It's just not. You can have the little changes that you like, but that's just window dressing.
Wow.
So
how do you, with all that in mind, like, how do you feel about woke culture? Do you like parts of it, or do you feel like it's all
like woke culture, like
woke
in
culture
comedy, or like in general?
in general, like the overcorrecting?
I mean, I'm very respectful to whoever. Like, I don't care what people's pronouns are or what they want. I feel like some of the advancements are good. You should be able to talk out and say, like, so-and-so is a piece of shit. Fucking, I'm going to borrow a thing from Uni here, another comic that I know, but fucking name names, dude. Fucking name names. Call them out. Like, be like, no, fuck you, dude. Like, you don't treat people like that and just get away with it. We've had this discussion before, but like, people who treat others like shit, and then they're like, oh, well, you can't do anything because I'm a producer at this comedy club. Well, fuck you.
Yeah. That's always a problem with humans.
Trust me, when the pandemic was happening, the hardest I've ever laughed at posts were like the comedy clubs that were like, oh, we're running out of money to pay. I would laugh at all of those posts. Because it was like, bitch, you never paid me when I was on stage. Where was my money? Oh, no, it was just, oh, get the fuck out of here, cripple. Like, go home.
Wow. So even in comedy, handicaps treat handicapped people.
No, it's not like that always. But like certain clubs wouldn't pay you. Like I did a spot at a certain club, and I was never paid. And then it happened at another club. So it was like when the comedy clubs went down, I was like, whatever. You never paid me to begin with. And when you did pay me, it was like $20. Great. That's,
Damn.
I don't know, dude.
So would you have any other advice? Thick skin is one.
You really just got to write every day, too. You got to write every day. You got to read. You got to get up as many times as possible. And you got to make sure, like, I would do it. The way I do it is I wrote every day for a month. You saw me walking around with my notebook, and I would write.
You always had that notebook. Yeah.
I had a pocket. I would always buy like the pocket-sized notebooks that had like 300 plus pages, and I would write 5 jokes a day on that, and I would just keep writing 5 jokes a day, and then by the end of the month, I would just collect the jokes that I liked the most, and then I would put it in a 2-page paper, like front and back, and then I would go and like practice that on sets. And then, I wouldn't do it on a show, but any jokes that crushed, I would put it on a different set where it was just shows.
Like swap around.
Yeah.
It's all about just getting up.
Yeah, it was all about getting up and getting, going out there and not being afraid that, oh, well, I'm disabled, they're going to treat me like this. No, they're not. You just got to be funny. And go to different rooms. I can't stress this enough. Like, don't be lazy and go to the same room over and over. Like, go to different rooms. Like,
yeah, and whatever your art form is, comedy aside,
yeah, go to different
around the
rooms.
Scene, go to different parts of your scene.
Yeah, do an all black room, dude. You will know you're funny if you can crush an all black room, dude. One of the last shows I did was in an all black room, and I crushed with this joke about like, I had a joke where I was like, I said like, oh, I have a gun license and I carry a gun and my friends don't understand why I carry a gun. I was like, yeah, because I'm pretty good with a knife, you piece of shit. Like, of course I'm going to carry a gun. And he's like, oh, you don't really need a gun, dude. Like, you can handle yourself with a knife. And I'm like, I'm not even good with a fist fight. Like, look at how I'm holding this microphone. You think I'm going to protect you with my fucking hands? Like, I'm not going to throw hands with anybody. And then, like, the kicker was, like, and the best part about it was, like, hey, man, like, I feel like owning a gun, like, I missed out on an opportunity to be a criminal. Because, like, what if I, like, robbed you, right? Like, what are you going to tell the police? Like, you're going to run over to a cop and be like, oh, my God, officer, I've just been robbed. And it's like, well, was he armed? Well, kinda. You just got to go get him.
That was great. I mean, I remember when you pitched me, we were going to do a short, and we should still do it, where you were going to be a serial killer.
Oh, yeah.
Classic, dude. There's so many avenues.
So many places you can go. But like,
it's only because you're so funny. For real. Like, the fact you could even think of a hand jobs and commit to it and do it is hilarious. Most people would bail on the idea.
The thing about doing a hand jobs is that when you do them, they're very physically demanding, and not just for me obviously, but like for everybody else involved. It's like, okay, well, what are we doing? You really have to know. The jokes have to be like, it can't just be like, oh, I'm crippled, duh. That's not funny. You have to do it like, well, he's giving me a chance, but I'm being an asshole, and because I'm being an asshole, I get fired.
Your character, yeah.
Yeah, like, it can't just be disability.
That was my biggest, thing I was scared of on set was, like, I want it to be funny, but I want it to be that line where you're comfortable and it's not disrespectful for no reason.
Yeah, you can't just, like, shit on disabled people either, because, like, that's gonna just, that would have, like, the worst effect.
Of course, dude. I have disabled people in my family, so for me, that's another reason I took the piece on, is because... Like, I get it, dude. I totally understand.
Yeah. But, like, for me also is, like, I really want to do ones that are more physical. Like, if we were to do this again...
You're a madman. You want to do stunts? You want to get on a plane? You want to skydive?
Oh, man. If we're... I told... I had the skydiving one, I had Brian in mind for doing it. Because Brian's been a great friend of mine, but he wanted to do a hand jobs.
Let's get him on.
And I wanted him to do it, but I said, if we're gonna do the skydiving one, I'm gonna be the skydiving instructor, and I'm gonna insist that you sit on my lap. So the whole time he's just like, no, I want to sit here. I'm like, no, you're sitting right here.
That's great.
Oh my God! And then weightlifter would have been another one.
Weightlifter, bodybuilder, we want.
Oh my God, bodybuilder.
No, you in a bodybuilding competition. That
would have been great.
The punchline. See, guys, we have to keep doing it. If anyone wants to contribute or help out any way they can.
I met a bodybuilder, but she is from Staten Island.
Where do you meet a bodybuilder? I also wanted to know what the dating apps are like for you. What's that like?
I don't date anymore.
No, you're done.
I'm kind of over.
Dating's toxic. It's another,
Dating, well, it's just not for me.
It's tough.
I'm not a dating guy, so I really don't really date anymore. I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's tough because it could really derail your life. You have to be careful.
Well, not really. It's just.
Well, I mean, in my experience, I've seen people get married too young, or they stunt themselves.
I'm not healthy enough for a relationship, so I'm just kind of like, I raise my hands and I go, no, thank you for that. Like, I tried it.
Were people shitty on the apps when you were on it? Because people are snarky. When I was on the apps, people were very snarky to me.
Oh, come on, dude. It's just, we take that shit all the time, but it's like, whatever. Like, I don't really date because of it,
Yeah, it's so annoying, man.
Plus, I'm not really, I just don't really date. Like, I'm not into it anymore. I thought I wanted it for the longest, but like now I'm just like, no, thank you.
Dude, a lot of people are in that boat, and I feel like since the pandemic, everyone's in like this end of the world mode, where like I think marriage is gonna become like less and less. It's really getting crazy. I'm not even sure what the point of it is for some people,
Well, the obviousness is not feeling alone, but like if you dive into something where you're just doing it because you feel alone, you feel more lonely.
Yep. And then you're trapped in a weird prison, yep.
Well, you trapped yourself in a weird prison.
Yeah.
Not for the other person. The other person's fine, and you're the only one that's acting like a weirdo.
Yep.
So there's that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm not interested in doing that anymore.
But I did want to ask, like, going back to like people being disrespectful about handicaps, is there a pattern you've seen in people where everyone tries to do this thing trying to be polite, but it's actually insulting? Or is that kind of overthinking it?
There's a lot of things that you would see, like, for a disabled person, like, I don't mind when someone's trying to be nice about something and then they're trying to say something, and
being almost woke about it.
Yeah, but being woke is the least biggest problem. My biggest problem is you're nice, but then it doesn't amount to anything. The examples of that are like when I go to job interviews and they're just like, well, this and this, and they're super nice about it, but there's no follow through,
Interesting.
There's no like, oh, I really want to get to know this person. It's like, no.
It's a hollow nice. It's almost what I imagine hot women feel for men.
I don't know.
They're not courting you.
I don't think.
But it's that kind of thing where it's almost an empty action.
An empty action is what everybody, it's one of those things of like, it's almost like how I feel, because like I donate a lot to charity. Like, I donate to charity to, like, feel good, but also I do it anonymously.
Of course.
So I'm like, I don't want to,
There's nothing personal.
I just said that, so it's not really anonymous anymore. So, dumbass me, just...
No, you don't have social media. Get it out here.
No, I don't have social media. I don't fucking have that. I don't care about social media.
Anyway,
I'm not doing it for the likes.
Like you were saying, donating to charity.
Like, but like doing stuff like that, I sometimes feel like very shallow about it. So I'm like, yeah, I'm donating to a cause, but like, could I do more? Could I not do more? Like, I always feel like that kind of hollowness. But like, I feel like all I can give is money. Like, that's all I can do, And that's how I'm kind of like conflicted about it,
Wow, you have an amazing heart, man. For real.
Yeah.
Like, I admire it. I really admire it. I do.
I try.
But I do have another kind of in the realm of question. Like, this is something I just thought of.
Mm-hmm.
So, talking disabilities, are we considering a Kanye West that's a full disability, or how would you go about that?
No, he's just anti-Semitic.
You think it's full, no mental illness? It's just full. Hate monger.
The thing about
it's mental illness fueling.
But this is the problem: is that he has a mental disability. And he's being taken advantage of by these fucking morons. And as much as I like Kanye's music, like, I cannot... He's a fucking nut job that needs fucking help.
No, I can't listen. I've actually been delisting his songs from my playlist because I can't listen to it now because it sounds like a crazy guy.
But it's the fact that it's a
But the
man.
thing is,
he's spiraling out of control.
Myself, he's a little bit crazy, so I do feel bad that he's.
Well, he is crazy. He's not a little bit crazy. You don't go. When Alex Jones is trying to rope you in and say, "Hey, buddy, cool it," you got a fucking problem. All right, you have a real fucking problem. When Alex Jones is the voice of reason in the room, you have a problem.
I never thought I'd say this. I feel bad for Kim Kardashian. She was crying today talking about having to co-parent with him. I'm like, holy shit.
Would you imagine?
I actually feel bad for Kim. This is crazy.
Would you imagine having to co-parent with that guy?
Dude, what
what is he
going to say to the kids on his weekend?
Would you imagine? Fuck what he says to the kids.
You got to unteach that.
Imagine the shit that he must be giving her. Like all the conspiracy theory bullshit that he's probably sending her. All the other shit that he's probably like. Trust me, like it must be horrendously awful. And then on top of that, it's like, yeah, this is the only thing I'm like legitimately feeling bad for Kim Kardashian for.
Me too, but you still, part of me, I would say he's partially handicapped. I don't know. I think he's partially handicapped.
He's mentally ill. He's definitely bipolar. But like the problem is that if you don't have people in your life that are like, dude, take your medicine, like, calm down, don't do this. Like if you don't have a therapist that's like strongly, like I was going down a path like that, kind of crazy.
Oh really? Oh,
and I went through, I went to a therapist, and like the therapist was like, you're really gonna focus on the positives of yourself, not the negatives. Really focus on that and try to build up the positive more than the negative. So that's basically what I've been trying to do all throughout, there are good days and bad days, but like, you need someone like that. Kanye needs that.
Yeah, he does.
But like, he's so far gone. Like that dude is gone.
Well, it's tough because he just won't listen to people. But it's a good question.
Because he thinks he's like, sticking it to the.
He thinks he's a god, but guess who would say that?
A lunatic.
Somebody with a handicap. You know what I mean? I don't
know.
No,
there's plenty of people that are disabled and mentally disabled that wouldn't say that. To give them a little bit of credit.
Okay.
He's just egomaniacal because he's had so many people tell him he's a genius.
Interesting. I was just
when you have,
what you would think.
Well, when you have a person like Kanye is very stuck up, very, about himself and his music. And yes, his music is great. But like, you need people that will tell you, no, that's a shit idea. Don't do that. You need people like that. You can't have yes men all around you, because the problem with yes men is that they leave. The moment shit goes down,
and they'll set you up.
They'll set you up to get fucked, and then they leave, and then you're just there, in the grass, like totally like what happened. You need people that'll tell you, no, that's a bad idea. Don't do that.
What do you think the craziest moment you ever lived was?
Craziest moment of my life?
Yeah. Like craziest, whether in a good way or whatever, like a moment where you're like, oh, this is like a movie. This is surreal.
Oh.
Besides the Watch Story, which I think is a film. That thing is awesome.
I don't know how you're gonna make a movie out of me getting robbed. That's so funny.
I mean, it's a real story. It has real heart and real tragedy.
Kinda, but it's just me being a fucking retard and then getting caught in it.
If that's the opening scene of a 15-minute film, people are in.
Oh, well, maybe. The craziest thing that I've ever done, craziest moment of my life was probably the helicopter, and you were there.
That really was a special day.
That was a special day. That was so much fun.
We should say, like, it was storming out.
It was about to storm, and I kept fucking pushing everybody, like, we gotta fucking roll. Because, like, we can't wait. If we have a storm, we can't fly the helicopter. We have to, like, fucking go now.
Because we wanted to do that stunt where we cut the thing and have the propeller start.
Yes. My only regret was that we never got a second helicopter to do the exterior shots.
Yeah, I regretted that, too. But my neck hurt from when we let the helicopter
Well, because we fucking stalled the helicopter.
That hurt, man.
That fucking did hurt.
That was nuts, dude.
And I kept breaking character. I was constantly laughing. And I was like, damn it. I tried really hard, but I just had a big fucking smile on my face. I was like, oh my God, we're actually going to crash a helicopter. I was so happy.
I'm really doing it.
Yeah, like, oh my God, it was so much fun. And like that helicopter place, I still have their polo shirt.
Do you really?
Yeah, I still have the polo
Shit, I
shirt.
should've got merch.
I remember that day specifically, like because the bowler guy quit on me,
Fuckface.
and then I got drunk, I think with Matt, and then I started emailing all these places, and I asked them like, hey, I asked you guys like, hey, what about a helicopter or a plane? They're like, and both of you were like, no, you're not gonna get it. Like, drop it. Like both of you told me it was a crazy idea.
I was blown away that this had happened.
Like you told, like
This
both.
is like somebody's comping us like $2,000 of their time.
Oh, more. We're flying a fucking helicopter. We're not.
The gas and the tech. Yeah, dude. It was.
Yeah.
The fact you pulled it off was insane. I mean, it made the series.
Yeah, it made the series. It's the cornerstone of the show.
It's amazing.
But like, yeah, it was. I mean, oh my God. That was the craziest moment of my life. But then there was.
Well, maybe let's do hand jobs aside.
Okay, hand jobs aside. Craziest moment was probably when I went to an open mic.
Yeah.
And so it was me, David Spector, and like I think Ben Switzer was there.
Shout out.
Yeah, dude. Shout out like crazy. And there was a guy at Old Man Hustle that was just watching porn loudly while we were trying to do sets. And it was
what
like
kind of porn? Straight porn?
Well, it was porn. I don't remember, but it was definitely straight porn because I heard women screaming. But like moaning, not screaming, but like that would have been like too much.
That
But
sounds like one of your horror books.
oh yeah, well, hold on, but like, oh my God, yeah, but I was laughing.
So he's playing porn.
He's playing porn, and it was like every time he would pause it after the comics got off, and then when they would come back on, he would just play porn again.
What the?
So it was like a fuck you to the comic.
Wow.
And every one of them tried to like power through the porno, but we just kept laughing because it was like, yo, he's seriously like playing porno and like enjoying it.
What a fucking weirdo.
My thing was, hey, when I went up, I did my first joke, and I was like, hey, sir, can you play like, I forgot the porn actress. Can you play like Katie Morgan's like porn? Like I was just requesting porn.
Can I have porn, please?
Can I have Katie Morgan? She's hot. Like, or like, who was it? Faye Reagan. I was also asking for her too. I was just like constantly asking like recommendations. The other crazy moment, the other crazy moment of my life too, and that's a positive, was like, I had finished the book Boy Meets Corpse, and I had given it to a bunch of like beta readers to read it at Jersey City Writers, and I had given it to them, and I swear to God, I didn't think it was going to get any good reviews. I thought it was just going to be like, this is too crazy and wild, it's not going to work. And it came back unanimously reviewed in a positive way, and I was like, holy shit, I got something. I was like,
you have like one of the darkest imaginations I've ever come across.
Oh man, wait until, dude, you have no idea what else I've got cooking. That's brutal. I had on.
Let's start with aliens. You like aliens?
Aliens are
aliens
just
and ghosts. Nothing.
Like I believe more in aliens than I do in ghosts, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
No ghost stuff ever. Nobody in your family talks about ghosts.
We're Hispanic. There's totally superstition shit there.
Yeah.
But like what I'm saying is like I believe more in aliens than I do in ghosts. Like Nope has more credibility in my brain than like a ghost, because I don't know if there is an afterlife or not.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm not really religious like that.
That's also like something I love to ask everybody. Like, what is your meaning of life? How do you interpret life?
You're a good person. You stay as being a good person, and you pass it on. That's it. That's all you do. You remain a good person. You pass it on. You hope the person you pass it on does the same. That's it. You don't put anybody down. You don't implement anything. You don't do anything crazy. You just be a good person, pass it on. And always the buck stops with you, so the bullshit ends with you. So you don't bullshit anybody. That's basically my philosophy for the whole thing.
I wish more people lived by that. That's cool, man.
Yeah, I mean, I try to live that, live like that too. I just try to get better every day and be a better person. That's all.
People really don't do that. It's so simple.
No, and there are a lot in the comedy scene that are totally successful.
The opposite. They're like, hey, if I'm a bigger jerk off,
yeah, they'll kiss my ass more. My favorite is like, oh my God, so many people that we know that are just fucking dicks, but we can't say a word because we gotta.
That's how it is, man.
But that's what I like about the woke thing. That's what I like about the woke thing. Like they're not holding back. They're naming him. Like look at all those people at Netflix that like.
No, that's the good part of wokeness when they hit the right target. But when they're off on a target, it's when it's dangerous. What would be your final kind of summation of why people should partake in a hand job?
Because I don't know, partake in a hand job is.
Why do you think people should watch the show?
Well, because it's funny, first of all. It's actually funny. It's not like, so many of these other shows where they like try to be funny and it's a disaster. It's actually funny. Like, it's got something to say. And we fucking love making them. Like, it's not like we didn't like making them. It's not like we got up every day and was like, oh, we gotta do this show. It's like, no, we were like, let's do this fucking show. Like we were fucking pumped. Even in our our weakest episodes, we were still like, let's fucking do it. Let's try and make this work. And dude, we can do so many. There's like
forever, man. Why not?
We can do one. There's a sailing place.
And I also want you to be part of the magazine I'm making. I want you to maybe write a short story.
A short story about hand jobs?
No, a horror story or something.
Oh, dude, I've written several short stories. I'm just not.
Let's do it, man. So stay tuned. More coming from Crespo, the king of hand jobs.
Hey, Matt, come on over.
What's up?
Dude, I got an interview.
You got an interview for a job?
Yeah. Guess.
You're not doing what I think you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna fly a helicopter.
Yeah, I'm flying a helicopter.
Oh my god, 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 oh my god,
It's not that bad.
Did you hear that?
What?
I think something's wrong.
No.
Whoa! Oh my god! Oh no! Oh no! No, not cool, my god! What did you do?
I don't know.